Hello everybody, if you can hear me. Yeah, I think I'm hearable, audible. Let's see. Well, everyone, I've had such a long day, but I really wanted to get this drawing done, and I'm trying to stream more consistently. So here I am. Apologies if my voice sounds a bit scratchy. It's been a long day. I have indulged myself in dinner, and now I'm here to just draw for all of you and continuously adjust things as always, because we are always a scuff stream and we're never going to start without any problems. But it's always so hard to get into talking about the things that I want to talk about. But I did have a topic today while I distract myself in trying to finish this drawing. So let me just get my brush out. It's a little bit hard because of the current setup that I have. I sort of have to lean in over a little bit to get to my canvas. If I was left-handed, it'd probably be easier, but unfortunately I'm not left-handed, very much right-handed. And I was not trained properly in the ways of the left hand. Oh yes, and let me lower the music just a little bit so that it's not too loud and you can hear me over the din of everything. So oops. Let's move this a little bit so I don't end up scratching my microphone. Let's tilt this a little bit more. Yes, that's so much better. So what I wanted to say was, before getting distracted adjusting everything, is that strangely enough I was really looking forward to coming on and streaming today. I mean, I've been trying to stream much more often. I've been trying to hustle a bit more so that I have a more consistent schedule, and I practice speaking to people because that's quite important. I listen back to the streams and I don't think I'm quite there yet in terms of being able to talk to people and be entertaining, and I used to be able to speak better. I think I didn't stutter over my words as much, and that everything was a whole lot more cohesive, and I was able to be at least a little bit more interesting. But over the years, I'm not sure, maybe it's just a lack of speaking to people that eventually, once I started again, it suddenly became so much harder to keep up a conversation, and I always felt like I was floundering my words. So that's why I've started streaming as well, to try and get better at talking to people, trying to regain some of the, usage of speech. Because I can speak. I assure you I can speak English. It's just that I feel like I don't speak it as well as I used to, which is quite sad, honestly, because I used to think that I spoke it quite well, frankly. And it just seems like the ability has been a little bit lost through time. So that's one of the reasons I'm trying to stream more often. Another reason is, of course, trying to build up a good schedule and becoming more consistent. And I mean, consistency is key to growing, isn't it? You have to keep doing something, or else you're gonna lose your touch at it, like speaking. Because I didn't speak to anyone for so long, I've lost so much. Just so much that I don't realize until it's gone. Oh, I see why this is weird. Now I'm coloring on this layer. I don't want that. I want this layer. And of course, I like to grow the channel and get to meet more people. Aside from all that, aside from all the practical reasons to stream daily, very oddly, during my very long day today, where I was sort of out doing the duties of the day, making sure I have enough to put food on the table for me and my friends and everybody else, I found myself quite missing being on stream and talking. I haven't done it very long. This is only my what? Oh, excuse me. If I count debut stream, this very scuffed second stream, third stream, I did a reading. I think this is my fourth or fifth stream. And I feel as if I'm slowly becoming a little bit more comfortable with everything. At the very least, I look forward to it, to being on stream and speaking with people, regardless of if anyone's there or not. I don't know why I like it, because I'm always very nervous when it comes to it, and there's always so many things I find that are still quite scuffed that I want to improve at. But for some reason, just for the whole of today, I kept thinking about how I can't wait to get back and come here and draw and talk to, well, the void if there's nobody here, and people if there are people here. Did I miss you all? Maybe it was that. Maybe I missed talking to the people here. Maybe I just like seeing myself on camera. I'm not sure really. I just know I really missed it. And of course I want to finish this drawing, because this drawing has a lot of things that have to be done for other things to happen. And I'm so sick and tired of just having it up for so long without anything being done to it. But yeah, I think that's a good sign that I really missed being here and talking. And today wasn't necessarily a bad day. I mean, it felt like it dragged on a bit longer than usual, that's for sure. And I just really wanted to come home and do this. But it wasn't all bad. I got to one of my favorite VTubers. It's not saying much because I only just started following VTuber content. But one of my, I guess you call it an Oshi, which is like a role model you looked up to. They were streaming at a bit of a different time today. And because of that, I was able to actually catch one of their streams, whereas most of the time they stream far too early for me to actually get up and watch them at. And there have been a couple of times I've been tempted to skip my duties just so I can finally catch a full stream of theirs. But we all have responsibilities and we can't just avoid work. So of course I didn't do that. I haven't done that, not yet at least. But oh, I've been tempted to just take a day off, give an excuse, and stay at home and watch them, or stay at home and do this, because I think it'd be really great to just have a whole day to stream and to just chat with people. Again, I don't know why I find it so fun. Honestly, I didn't think I would enjoy it this much. Strange, isn't it? And then you're gonna ask, Tene, why did you even bother becoming a VTuber then if you didn't think you're going to enjoy streaming and the like? And the truth is, I just wanted to share my projects and my works, and I thought, okay, I really am a nervous wreck, and I probably won't like getting on live and talking to people, but I'll do it anyway because I want to show off the work that I have. And by lucky coincidence, this is really fun, and I enjoy creating content and learning about content creation and just figuring out what works for me and for this channel and all that encompasses it. And I'm still figuring that out for the most part. I'm still not completely sure what direction things are meant to take. I have ideas. I have a lot of the ideas actually that I haven't yet started. And I keep telling myself the timing's not correct, that I should hold off and wait until I have more things built up. But honestly, I probably should just get on them and get started on them, because the longer I wait, I'm not getting any younger, am I? This channel's not gonna grow anymore until I do the thing that I want to do. Stuff like D&D streams, Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a huge fan of it. And I want to host something with an audience. Sort of like, I want to be your dungeon master, and I want to lead you through a story and have dice rolls and watch as you succeed and fail and describe it as epic adventure. Yeah, I wanna do a stream like that. Of course, the caveat being that you do need people to come and watch you stream, or else you can't really run an adventure, Dungeons and Dragons adventure on your own. I suppose you could, but you'd have to not know what's happening. Wouldn't it be weird to roll the dice against a monster? I guess there are adventure books for that. Those old adventure books, if you can remember, they would basically be your narrator, and you would flip through them and follow along. I never played those books properly, honestly. Never. What I would do, or what you were supposed to do, is you're supposed to flip through them, follow the page numbers depending on your choice, and a lot of times they ask you to keep track of your health or the items you got, and you would flip the page accordingly to the correct number. And I just never did that. I just read through it like a whole book because I wanted to know every single possibility that would have happened, regardless of item or health or the like. So I was terrible with those books, but I really loved them. And one of the oldest I had was something about, I think, a lemming adventure, where you had a group of lemmings, and you were supposed to keep track of the number of lemmings that you had, and you would end up guiding them through a bunch of dangers. And I mean, depending on how many you kept alive at the end, the book would award you a kind of score to say how good you were at keeping lemmings alive. And it was fun. Not my favorite book, because I think I like more actiony stuff. But overall, quite fun. Sure, I could find it again if I wanted to. Online, I mean. I don't have the book anymore. So I did a purge and gave most of it away. Cleanse my life. Can't keep books very well in the apocalypse either, unless you got a facility to keep them fresh. The rot gets to them really quickly, and it gets really hard to keep the pages free of bugs. But it's entirely possible. People have done it. Some of my friends, for example, really big book fanatics, manage to keep a whole library alive in the facility. That's our home. It doesn't let any one of us touch them because they're afraid of dirty fingerprints and the like. But sometimes when I go in there and they're in there, Koi and Koi's in there, sometimes we just sit together and she gets out one of her books with her gloves on, of course, to keep them all spotless, and we'll just sit down together on the floor and read. She'll read out to me, and I really like her voice. She's a very good narrator. And sometimes she narrates so well, I just feel like falling asleep to her voice. Right there on the floor. No matter how cold or dusty or hard it is. Whenever she's reading out to me, I feel more at home than I ever feel. Once in a while, she lets me rest my head against her knee or her lap, and she'll just carry on reading. And I'll listen to the pages of the book turning. You know, the sound, a little flip sound as the pages turn. And I'll just go to sleep like that. And whenever I wake up, it'll always be back in my own bunk in the facility, in my own room. And sometimes I wonder if those moments ever happened, or maybe I imagined them up. But whenever I go to her, she always reads a different book. So that must mean we finished the previous book, didn't we? Even if I can't remember what it was about. Yeah, I really like Koi. I like all of my friends out here in the apocalypse. They're all amazing. Wonderful, wonderful people. I want to share their stories. Speaking of which, I've gotten myself distracted again. I've gotten off topic again. What I wanted to say was, yes, I want to do D&D streams where I tell a story for somebody else based on the actions that they take. But of course, it's one of the harder things to run if you don't have an audience, because you need people around in order to tell the story, you know? Can't tell a story without people around to be part of that story. Or else you're just monologuing. Like right now. Let's see what else. What else do I want to do? Yes, I want to do story streams as well, where I talk about what it's like life in the apocalypse and how I'm just surviving and how my friends are all just surviving and how we're getting along. Because I think we've done quite well for ourselves despite all the odds. I think things could still be better. I wish we didn't have such hard duties to attend to in order to survive. But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Could offer me $1 million, and I'd say, sure, but only if nothing else changes in my life. I'm just a millionaire now. I try not to imagine what it'd be like being able to do this all day. What do I mean? It's the thing, right? Where when you start VTubing and the like, you should do it because you're passionate and because you enjoy it, and you shouldn't expect to grow an audience that much or to get big. I think I tell you that for all sorts of people coming on here to share stuff and create content for others. You shouldn't expect to get big. You should try to grow as much as you can, but you shouldn't, have an ego and expect the world of it or expect to make anything of it. Some people probably do, and some people probably do make it big because they're just both lucky and smart. But sometimes I can't help but imagine what it'd be like to be able to do this for a day, for a living, and just come home and create and have people support your creations. I never want to set that expectation for myself because honestly, it sounds like a dream come true. And though I try to be delusional so that I might believe in myself a bit more through the delusion, I also try to be practical. Because there's a big chance that this is the limit of what I do. That all it will be is a relaxing evening here streaming and drawing with all of you. Which is good. I like it. It's enough, honestly, to be able to come here and speak. And to dream of it being a living. That's a pipe dream that I don't want to have high hopes for. Because you have to be a bit realistic. Oh, but one day I come here and just so many people to chat to. I was thinking about this. Let me provide some context before I go too far off. I was thinking about this while watching my favorite VTubers in my Oshi, and they were, firstly I should say, they work very, very hard, and I know they're not going through the easiest of times now, so it's not an easy journey for them or for anyone. But to see how not successful, let's not use the word successful, supported that they were, it's really nice. It's really nice seeing everybody come out and just give them all the care and love that they had. Call me an attention seeker. I probably am. I want to get to that level. I want to fantasize and dream about what it's like to have people have expectations of you, ones that you could reasonably fulfill, of course. Because sometimes I feel like people have expectations of me that aren't me, as in I for sure know I can't fulfill them. I'm gonna try my best to fulfill them, but I know I probably can't because they're not the kind of expectations that I can fulfill. They're not in my ring house, so to speak. They're not for me. And I feel this way a little bit, especially when it comes to the duties I have to do day to day in order to eat. I feel like I'm not qualified for what I do. But that's okay, you know? Because I know I'm not qualified, but I'm still gonna try my best at it. I'm still gonna give it my all, regardless of what happens. See, I've gone off topic again. This is what happens when there's nobody around to keep me on track. Though, even with someone keeping me on track, I still tend to go off on a rant or a tangent and just lose focus of everything. But what I wanted to say was all the things I want to do. Yes, I want to do D&D, and I want to do story streams with art and writing stuff. And I've said it so many times, I don't think I should do gaming because I don't think I'd be any good at it. Not just skill wise. I get super focused when it comes to games. I end up not talking a lot. And I'm not that good at games where you can just focus on the gameplay and not listen to anybody talk. But that might be a fun idea, maybe in the future down the line. I'd be open to it. Let me make this jaw a little bit more defined. It's not where I like it to be just yet. A little bit more in. I'm trying to go faster because I really want to complete this drawing by today. Because, yes, I've forgotten to speak about this drawing and what's it for. You see, I've spoken about this before. I want to do a comic for one of my friends out here in the wasteland. Their name is Lux. They're really fun, and they have a lot of interesting stories from the before times. You know, pre-apocalypse, they would say. So of course I wanted to get some of those stories down and do her a little bit of justice and record their stories. And I've been putting that off a lot, I think. Too long. I've been putting it off too long. And as a result, it's sort of taken too much of a backseat. It's taken too much of a backseat. I really want to get back into it before I forget about it again, or before I accidentally end up dropping it. Because, you know, sometimes you do that, you have a project entirely planned out and then you just don't ever start it. That's partially why I'm also here, to try and start more projects. Finish more projects, I should say. And I hope I can encourage other people to finish more projects too. Doesn't look too weird. Yes, cover up an entire section of the face that you've just been working on. That's smart, you know? I don't usually color this way. I usually have the outlines quite set and I color within them. But I've been trying out this new technique where I just block out the color first and figure out the rest over time. Is it very effective? I'm not sure. Somebody will come in and tell me you shouldn't be doing it this way, or you should. Sorry, I'm gonna try to talk more. I got really into it for a second. Which isn't a bad thing. I like losing myself in it. I love the soft thing where you Can I tell you more about Lux? Lux is a very good friend to have in the apocalypse. They're resourceful and they know how to have a good time despite all odds. And they're kind and caring. A little bit awkward. Sometimes they don't really know what to say. And they're a bit shy, but I don't regret meeting Lux. They're one of the first few people I met when I came, when they found me here out in the junk fields. I was under a box, as most people are in the apocalypse. I was there under the box. It was damp, and frankly, I think it was starting to mold over. There were these little green specks that covered the inside of the box, and it smelled like rotten eggs. But it had been raining, and I didn't have my jacket yet. So I was just under a box, trying to wait out the rain, listening to it pat down on the cardboard. And the cardboard was slowly turning soggy and starting to drip on me. And then suddenly I wasn't alone, because there was Lux. And we didn't know it at the time that we were going to be friends. I'm sure they just thought that I was at most a passing stranger. But they still gave me food, and while I was eating, they pulled something out of the trash and just started working with it, because they're very good at sewing and the like. And it just became what I have now. From the trash into Lux's hands, into something usable. That's what they always do. They turn things that are trash in other people's eyes into something usable. And I was just really happy that I got to meet someone so nice on my first day here. And they gave me this cool jacket, and I've worn it ever since. And once in a while, I ask Lux to repair any small rips and tears in it. Oh, hi Nabe! So glad of you to drop in. Just doing speed arts. Did you finish streaming, or are you going to stream tonight? I might fall asleep to it. It's always wonderful to have you here. How's your day been, or night been? How goes all the streaming? Sorry, just give me a moment. I need to fix this nose. Just been chatting away here. Figuring out how to color this. Make it look less bad. Oops, I've made it look more bad. Trust the process. I'm the one doing the process, and I don't even know what it is half the time, but I trust it. Sort of. I try my best with it. Ooh. Trying to speed run this a bit. Oh no! Is everything alright? Is your leg okay, Nabe? I hope it's nothing serious and it's just, you know, the usual aches and pains, and sometimes the body just goes kaput. Like it's just, I can't take this anymore. I'm just going to hurt today for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And I think those are the better ones because it still hurts, but at least there's no good reason behind it, so it's nothing serious. But yeah, please rest up. And I can't imagine having to go to work, especially if you have to travel or if your job requires any amount of standing with a hurt leg. Fortunately, a lot of my duties don't require movement, so if I hurt my leg, I got no excuse. I still need to go in. But yes, please get plenty of rest and rest up your leg. Remember, you can't injure it any further if you're playing video games. So it's my medical experience, you should play more video games. But do move it around every so often, or else you might get a blood clot. Oh, I really need to speed through this. And if you're streaming a bit later, and once I'm done, I'll probably head over and I'll just leave it on while I go to sleep, because I probably will go right to bed after this. What kind of eyes? Yeah, just rest. I'm so sorry to hear that you're suffering from that sort of thing, from a aching leg. No, and if it's something chronic, I hope you get to see a doctor about it, and that it's a good doctor that takes your problem seriously. And they help you overcome it. Yeah, it was a decently good day. Quite long, surprisingly long. I thought it was going by quite fast until I looked at the time and realized that it hadn't even been a couple of hours. You know how it is doing the duties you have to do to put food on the table. And I actually was really looking forward to coming back and just getting online and streaming again, surprisingly. I didn't expect to to miss it so much. I don't know if that's a sign of me getting the hang of it, or maybe it's like a honeymoon period where you don't feel so burnt out doing it yet, so of course you want to be back here doing it. But eventually, maybe there'll come a time where I just don't want to do it anymore. But I hope that time doesn't come all that soon, because I wanna do this for a decently long time. Say I gave it the old good college try. I'm also trying to speed through this artwork. Not too sure what I'm doing. It's a little bit wonky, but it's fine. I was able to catch I was telling the void earlier, I was able to catch a stream by one of the streamers I really like, besides you, of course, Nabe. And it was just really fun seeing them stream and be in their element. I don't know if it's correct to say who it is. I feel like I know they're streamers, but for some reason I want to afford them some privacy, even though there's none on the internet. But yeah, the fact that they were streaming at an odd time and I could watch them while partially working for a little bit really helped the day pass a bit faster. And honestly, I couldn't help but think how wonderful it would be if instead of having to go out and do the grind, which you have to, how wonderful it would be to just be able to create content like this and make a living out of it. I know that's everybody's dream in the end, right? To be able to somewhat do this full time. And make no mistakes, it's not easy by any means. Having just started out, I can see how difficult it is to constantly come up with new ideas and keep the content up and be creative. But if I had an opportunity to do this full time with support from people who like what I do, I probably still would take it. I feel at home in this, and it's weird to say because I haven't been doing it very long, but I do. Still trying to speed through this as fast as possible so that I can get it done by today. It's a little bit wonky, but that's okay. We're all a little bit wonky. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Everything goes back into commissioning new things. It's why it's probably really difficult to make this a living, and very few people get to do it. And I'm under no illusions that it's easy. It's not. But I really wish that it could be full time, because it's so much fun compared to everything else. And I don't know, I find it harder to do a job that pays really well but drains you, as opposed to something where you're just scraping by but you're doing what you love. And I know that's a very impractical mindset to have, isn't it? The dreamer mindset that all you need to do is follow your dreams. But sometimes I don't think I'm cut out to do work that I find unfulfilling. I've done a decent amount of work all over the place, and most of the time I just found myself being burnt out and not being happy. But you know, respect to the people who just get through the grind of everything. There's nothing wrong with going through the grind of everything. If anything, it's amazing that people can do that. I just don't think I'm one of those people, which is problematic. Because I wish I could just do a job and not care about the job right after. Do it for the cold hard cash. That's true. If you have gone through more hardships, you would be more appreciative of what work you are able to get. I did have a very sheltered but privileged upbringing, I'd say. So I know at times it's probably quite spoiled to say that, oh, I want to just do a job that follows my dreams. And I do like where I am now. I just feel a bit unfulfilled. And I guess maybe that's a product of upbringing, or maybe it's just me, that I'm a little bit weird in that way. And again, major respect to those people who can just do a job and that's it for the day. They know that it's a job. And they just need to get through it in order to be able to get to do the things that they like. I've tried doing that multiple times. It just never really works out for me, I guess. Because I know if the emotional fulfillment isn't there, then it's very hard for me to keep doing a job. But of course, I'm not gonna be, how to say, I'm not just gonna throw away a job because I don't really enjoy it, because I still need to put food on the table. If the world were in such a state where you didn't have to do jobs that you don't like in order to put food on the table, I can't tell if that'd be a better or a worse off world. Maybe a little bit of both. I had a job that nearly killed me once. That's all I say about the matter. I had a job, I nearly died once. No further elaboration. But it was actually a really fun job. It was kind of I don't want to give away too many details, but let's just say we had to work with a lot of mechanisms, and it was in the, I guess it's in the entertainment industry. It was an entertainment shopping that people went to do. Nothing shady, of course. And the issue with the place, well, there were a few issues. Firstly, we weren't being paid fairly. And a lot of the people that were really good at the job and a lot of the better bosses all left. So that was sad. If they had paid me better or provided proper breaks, I would have stayed so much longer, because I really did love that job, but it just wasn't providing enough. And yeah, it wasn't enough to sustain on, especially for the hours that we were doing, which was really sad, because I think a lot of people actually really liked the place and they just wish that they were better appreciated by the boss. And if the boss had, then we would have stayed so much longer. But yeah, we had to work with some electronic devices, and the place was really run down and old. So as you can imagine, things broke quite often. And we didn't have a proper repair person. I lied, the job is a little bit shady because we didn't have a proper repair person. So most of the time they would ask us to do the repairs by ourselves. And I didn't know how to do any of them. But I had my colleague with me. And they were very good at, they had been there a long time. So that at one point during our work, one of the devices broke. It wouldn't function. And the way you turned on this device was to reach sort of inside of it and pull out the on button from a cavity up there. And that's how you would turn it on. And sometimes you would brush up against the raw wires. So it stopped functioning, and my colleague told me, all right, go and turn it off, and I will go and reset the breaker. So as I went to turn it off, and I reached into the cavity, pulled it out, flipped it off. I can't recall if my colleague ever told me to let go. And you would assume if they asked you to turn it off that you probably shouldn't let it go. But for whatever reason, I did let the on-off button go and just let it dangle there. And then I heard the breaker box trip. And the entire cavity inside just sparked very brightly and brilliantly. And it was a good thing I had let go, because I later found out that the piece of machinery we were handling had about 220 volts of electricity coursing through it, which, if you don't know, I think it only takes about 80 or so to kill a person. So 220, I would probably be dead. And of course we told our boss about it, and he's just said to wear latex gloves whenever turning something on and off, which was how we sort of circumvented that for the rest of the time that we were there, until they shifted to a new location and then we all quit. So yes, there was a chance that Tene would have died long before Tene came here to do art and yap your ears off. Was it scary? The thought of it was a bit scary. That, you know, there was a chance I could have died. I don't know if it would have been painful to have that much electricity coursing through you, but it can't be good. I don't think your body would be in the best shape having that run through you. It would probably complain a fair bit, and that complaint probably results in a bit of pain. But I'm alive, and that's all that matters. Well, I'm alive and employed, that's all that matters. Yeah, no, I wasn't sure whether I was scared. I think because it wasn't like a car crash or anything. It was just a very bright spark. And then later on, it was just like, holy balls. Am I allowed to say that here? Holy spears! I could have died. And it's been one of the stories I've told ever since about the time I nearly died doing this thing. There were a few other things that happened at that location, at that place. The ceiling. Oh, good. I can say holy balls. The ceiling nearly collapsed. No, it did collapse. I can't say nearly. A part of the ceiling did collapse upon me at one point in time. It wasn't a concrete kind of ceiling. It was like those plasterboards, like in an office you see all those little squares of, I don't know if I think they are plaster, a very thin sheet of plaster that was holding the ceiling up. And above the ceiling there was it was an old building, so they had the cooling system running above the ceiling for things like the air conditioner and the fans. So there were water pipes up there. And at one point, I think one of them burst. So we could hear dripping sounds from above, but we weren't really sure. We were sort of like just draining the water through the pipes at that point. And then suddenly we felt dripping from above. And I heard a little rush of water above me, and I thought that, okay, I should step out of the way. And the moment I did, the entire thing just like collapsed outwards, and a whole pouring of water just started pouring out, flooding out, I should say. It wasn't life threatening. If I had been hit by that water, I probably wouldn't have died. I'd just be very, very miserable and wet. But still, those things shouldn't happen at work. Our safety was really not taken into consideration over there. Which again, we didn't mind because we actually really liked the place. But I mean, if you wanna do a job and still live to see the next day, you probably should have some kind of safety assurance. The one thing I didn't really like about the place, no break room. And we didn't really have breaks also. We sort of just took them as and when you were free, you would go and buy back food and eat near the place. And sometimes the people would complain, the people that we serviced would complain about us eating nearby, but I mean, there was nowhere else to eat and you had to be on duty, so of course you had to be nearby and eat. I'd say most of them were quite nice. They didn't complain about us eating, but there were always one or two that would be up in arms about the fact that we were, being human and having to eat food. And I mean, we would stop eating to go and help them if they needed it. So that probably irritated them. But it's fine. For the most part, everyone was quite nice. So fun times there. Those are really my most exciting stories. I don't have many other life or death experiences. I should probably, if I did, I probably shouldn't give them all away at once. Because then I can save them for other streams. mind me. Let me just let me lock in for a little bit because I really want to finish this up. Hair is all about defining the shadows that are in the hair. Let me zoom in a little bit more. I realize this is a bit far away for all of you to see. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see more clearly what I'm doing. Yeah, the way I learned to draw hair, there's many ways, of course. There's the anime way, which includes a lot more shine to it. I'm going for something a little bit more realistic-ish. If I can find my mouse. Keep losing my mouse. Oh, there it is. Yeah, hair is all about defining where the shadows are. Thinner. Oop. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet. I'm just super locked in at this point. Oops, better adjust my camera just a little bit so you can still see me. Okay, oops, too thick. Thick boy. Thick brush. So for those wanting to learn how to do hair, not that I'm an expert by any means, but a good way that I learned quite recently is to, once you block out the shape, to define where the shadows of the hair are, like the parts that are in shadow, because it gives shape to the rest of the hair. It tells you what hair is above, what's layered, how they should be highlighted over one another. Haven't fully mastered it yet, obviously, but getting there slowly and surely. Let's just cheat a bit and make it a bit bigger, and we'll mask the back in a bit of shadow because it's not the front. That's all I have to say. It's not the front, it's at the back, so of course it'd be in shadow a bit more. Trust the process a bit. It takes me a long time to trust the process because I acknowledge that sometimes it really looks quite bad along the way. Yeah, so let's soften the edges a bit. You don't want the lines, the connecting lines, to be too harsh. Let me zoom in even further so you can see. Because hair rarely ever connects unbrokenly in one huge strand. You know, even curly hair. That's all I could think of. Curly hair, straight hair. I forget what you call those afros. I guess it's still under curly. Yes, curly hair. It doesn't come in one long unbroken strand most of the time. There's a lot of tinier hairs that make up the shape of something. So you don't want a very long line like this that comes down the middle of the head that goes all the way down. Hair is often just broken up by all the locks and everything. So for example here, if we darken this a bit, then you'll know it's sort of behind the rest of the shapes of the hair. Not perfect, I know. I want to add a bit more volume, so I'm gonna unstrand it a bit and just push it out a little bit more. And then I always like, you're supposed to do this in rendering. You're supposed to do things like adding the tiny hair strands and all the little messy bits at the very end. But I don't do that because I really like the look of them here and now. So I always add them in during the process. It's probably not correct. Please don't follow me. Please do what the professional artists online are telling you to do, because they probably have a better idea of what they're doing and they're not being distracted by tiny hair strands. But I really like them. I like the way that it makes the hair look throughout the process, before the rendering. Excuse me. Choked a little bit. Oh, we have. Oops. It probably would look better if a professional artist, if I followed a professional artist and did it at the end, so you could have that little wow factor of it all coming together. But I just love doing it during the process. And a pro tip, not really pro, this is something you should do, is just mirror your pieces, mirror your artwork when you're working on them, and flip constantly from side to side so you can sort of see if it makes sense both ways. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer, that's why I'm not seeing it show up. Gonna cheat a little and just have the mask behind so I can do more hair strands coming out here. And then once you're done doing all the darker parts, you can go back in with your lighter color and start smoothing it out a bit where certain areas meet. Like if they fade into the dark, instead of having such a super harsh line. Sometimes you will have this harsher darkness in the corners, especially. It's occlusion lighting. It's where when two things are very close to one another, there's often a dark shadow that comes across the both of them, which is why a lot of artists, when they're starting out, they often do very dark shadows around the areas where lines meet, which isn't wrong per se, but when you start learning more about light, you realize there's more to it than just dark shadows go around corners. Now I always like using a blue to highlight strands. Honestly though, still haven't found a proper technique for hair. I change it up ever so often because I like the way it looks for a little bit, and then I realize that I don't like the way it looks for a little bit. So I just constantly keep changing it up on how I do hair. So this is just one way to do hair. Don't take it as gospel. If you like the way this looks, then great. If you don't, it's fine. There's thousands and thousands of ways to do hair in art and rendering. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. But I always love putting blues in hairs. Don't do what I did, which is to do it all on one layer. I've done this all on one layer, which isn't good because if I want to erase a part, I won't be able to now. Gonna cut up some blue a bit. Soften it up. Kind of accidentally given it a bit of a wet look, which is fine. And then one of my favorite parts is to go in with an additive layer and really push some of the highlights out a little bit. But you have to be careful because too much and it looks weird. But I always do too much, which is Just me. I don't like the way that the ear cuts off a bit into the hair, so it's a bit blurry, so I'm just gonna have the hair. It's pushed a bit into the hair. Oops, sorry, I keep hitting the mic. You all keep getting hit in the ears. Few strands because I'm a fan of messy hair. Hello to the people that drop by the way. Sometimes I see more people coming up in chat. If you're just here just to stop by and curious about what this is, thanks for stopping by. It was nice to have you. Or it's nice to have you now, if you're still here. I don't know what I'm doing, so you know, thanks for staying even though I have no idea what I'm doing at all. Where's my... Nope. One thing I'm gonna do is do all of the colors first and then add the shadows on top of them. And I'm gonna try to speedrun this because I need to speedrun this. Or else I'm never going to finish it. Could change this arm to just be down instead of across. No, let me make it big again. The proportion is probably still a little bit off because I didn't really do proper guidelines for all of this, but that's okay. I've long learned to know when to let it go when you need to. Oops. The world is just made of blobs, and then you slowly define them with like shadows and stuff. And sometimes they look like stuff, but not always. Please study more anatomy. I clearly haven't. And I'm quite lazy, so gonna try and make this as quick and dirty as possible. Okay, not quite that dirty. It doesn't have to be anatomically completely correct. It just has to look like you know what you're doing. So as long as you don't tell people that you have no idea what you're doing, it will be fine. If they ask you, why is this hand so messed up? Just say it's your style. Your style is messed up hands. You're starting a whole artistic movement of messed up hands. So artists can feel free to mess up their hands. I might take a break on Friday. I'm trying to stream more often, so I'm aiming for things like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or Saturday. I'm not too sure about this coming day. I've been really bad. I haven't set up a schedule. I haven't sent out a schedule, which I should. But I might take a small break on this coming weekend because I have some stuff I need to work on. Stuff that involves here, of course. And then I'll come back and I'll continue on as per usual. But I'm gonna try to come on more often for everybody. I like coming on here. I like knowing that people listen even if they don't put it in chat, because I can see the users in chat, and it's really nice just to know that you're there. Or maybe you've left the computer onto my page and you've walked away, and it just happens to go to my stream when you're not here. In which case, I appreciate appreciate the views. I appreciate that you've done that, whether consciously or unconsciously. It's very nice. Thank you. Thank you for leaving your computer. I do that for my friends sometimes. If I feel a bit too tired to fully engage with a stream, or I just want to give my support but I can't do it at the exact moment, I'll just leave a stream on so that they can get the view, and I'll try to comment in every so often so that they can get the engagement, I think. I don't know what comments actually do, besides make people happy. Oops. Do that for your streamer friends. Oops. Yeah, that's really nice of you, Nabe, to sort of lurk in 3 different streams. I do think though that I don't know if this is true. I did hear that I think if you do more than 2, it doesn't count or something. I can't remember. I might be wrong, and this might be a rumor perpetuated. But it says if you maybe it's more than 3. If you do more than 3 streams, and if you mute, then the view doesn't count or something. I'm not sure. Just in case, I always keep the volume when I lurk in other people's streams. I always keep the volume just very low, so that they still get the engagement out of it. I see the sliding bar has to be above 0. I got really scared with the tab being muted because I'm scared they're not getting the, you know, the, what you call it, the engagement. I think it's become habit by now for me to just leave like it on very, very low volume. Nowadays, when I do all the editing as well, I always end up falling asleep at my desk. Yeah, 3 streams would be a lot of audio. That'd be tough to have to deal with all those sounds. For me, if I put it low enough, I can't really hear them all that well, without headphones in especially. I'm really lazy on this arm anatomy because you can do more for it, but I'm just trying to get through this quickly because I do feel my strength lagging, fading a bit because it is late. I'm a bit tired, but I really wanna get this done before before the end of today, because I want to move on to other drawings. So I'm okay with it being a little bit messier than usual. Yeah, I'll probably be back on Monday at the latest. I'm probably gonna take a break on Friday and Saturday. I do feel my strength waning. Cause it's late. It's late and it's been a very long day at work. The anatomy on the right arm isn't the most correct. Let's see if we can fix it just a little bit. It's not meant to be that long. But you know what? We can cheat a little bit and cover everything up in a minute. cover everything up. It's fine. It's under a cloth. That's why you can't see it. Bad anatomy? Don't know her. All I know is cloth. Yes, purple. Okay, I'm going to probably finish up the clothing and then leave the... Oh no, I did the clothing on the same layer as the arms. Never mind, we can fix this. We can fix it. Is that weird looking? Yeah, that's a little bit weird looking, so what we're gonna do is maybe just get rid of this arm entirely and just have the cloak be flowing. Oh, this has to be below here still, and the hair has to be here. Here, and then we'll erase it down. Sorry, I know I should still talk a bit more. Oops. talking about that now very much earlier. I want to do a D&D stream with an audience. And basically I was thinking about being a dungeon master for people. Of course, if there are VTubers like you who want to do it in a collab stream, I think that'd be great. Of course, you need more people for a full party. I was thinking of doing a smaller audience focused D&D thing where I will go through a story and the audience will get to roll dice. I don't have the dice plugin. I think you do need, I don't know if that's paid or if it even functions the way I think it functions, but dice rolling and adventure through there. Probably I'll do one maybe next week. I have to plan for it, and I kind of have to see how many people I can get in a stream, just guaranteed for it to happen. But I would eventually do want to do something like that. Oops. I do want to have a D&D stream at some point because I love D&D. It's really fun. Yeah, sure, I'd be cool with it. The timing is probably the biggest thing that I worry about because of where I live and like work and stuff. But if the timing matches, I would love to do D&D stuff with people. And also, I still want to do the main thing I want to do is to host D&D here one day. Thank you. Okay, let me. Yeah, I love to do D&D streams one day. I still want to do one for the audience though. That one's quite important to me, that eventually I'll figure out how to do something with the audience. I'm still thinking it through a little bit. Gonna leave it to the future a little bit, just for a little bit while, but I will do one. I swear I will do a stream with with people, but for D&D. Yeah, I mean, let me know. Let me know, Nabe. I'm always open to it, and I'm always game to meet new people through D&D and get people involved in D&D. Cause I love D&D. I'm crazy about D&D. Oops. Gonna blur things a little bit. It's not my best work, to be like completely honest. I've rushed through it, but I did want to see it finished, and that's what I did. I finished it, sort of. Still have to do the background, but the background's easy. Just pull on a gradient or something. See, I'll show you how fast I can do a background. Pick nice colors, green, and let's do a bluish turquoise. Bam, background. Yeah, I like that one. And let's make it a little bit exciting. I'll pass you my Discord in a bit, Nabe. Let's make it a little bit more exciting. Add a bit of, the youngins call it aura. Yeah, if I can find the right brush. It's not labeled an aura brush. Yeah, just a light. It's like a light, very light shadow. Cause I'm lazy today. I've not. This is. I swear I can do better artworks than this. If you check out my Instagram, I have done better artworks than this. I'm just quite lazy today. I don't have time, and I really want this out there and done. And I probably will come back and refine it more in future. Please don't worry about that. It's more shadow than aura, isn't it? Mm. Let's do. Oops. Yeah, this is if you just wanna fake a drawing fast, you just add like very messy shadows and light. If they don't look too closely, it's fine. All right. I'm probably gonna leave it at that. It's not my best work. I have done better lighting, I swear. I have. This is me being really lazy and not following through on a lot of artist techniques properly. Please don't do what I do. Please actually take your time with a piece of work. But if you're feeling lazy with the piece of work and you need it done really, really fast, then yes, do what I've done, which is just to really quickly bang something out, scribble something out. But it's quite late for me. I need to rest. But thanks to everyone who thank you everyone. Let me look less mean. Let me look happier. Thank you everyone for coming out to this stream. I know the hours are weird. I'm still getting the hang of what to say and how to draw and speak stuff. I still don't think this is my best work, but I am gonna get some rest. And yeah, if you like listening to me, make sure you follow along for future streams. They're only gonna get better from here, hopefully. Yes, they will. I promise. I'll improve. I'll get better. So yeah, follow me if you haven't already. Follow me on my other socials. Ooh, we just got a... Oh, thank you, Stella. Squippy, is that you? Is that you? I don't know how to pronounce your name. This is the first time I'm saying it aloud. Squippy. Stella, a bit of advertising for one of my I love advertising for other VTubers. So Squippy is just started VTubing again or for the first time, I'm not very sure. Please go check out their streams. They're a very cute alien dog. I hope this is the correct Squippy. I hope it's not somebody else and I've just completely misrepresented you. But yes, they are an eldritch alien dog. Please go and check them out. Oh, thank you. I've covered everything up. I show nothing. Thank you so much. Please go follow them. They're really funny in chat, so they must be really funny on stream as well. And their designs are really cute, so please go follow them. Please go look out for them. But thank you everybody else who has come down here and just joined me for this really quick chat and drawing session. I'm still not at the top of my game. I feel quite tired today. I'll come back again on probably Monday or maybe Saturday when I'm feeling up to it and probably do a quicker stream. If there's any more volunteers who wants to do a D&D stream, please let me know. And once that's locked in, I will definitely be doing a D&D stream with all, if not some of you, and we'll go on a little adventure together. But yeah, I'm still really bad at ending this. I just want to talk forever because everyone starts talking when it's time to end the chat. But I'm tired, you're tired. Good night, everybody. We're gonna take a rest. Thanks for coming. 10 out.